blessings from His Grace Lilananda Prabhuji, Praveen Prabhuji, Akinchan Prabhuji, and Nirupama Mataji, Santosh Aditya Prabhuji, Satyadev Prabhuji, and many others who are there in the call. I'm not eligible to speak on Bhagavad Gita, and I don't have any purity. It's just by the mercy of all of you that you have given this chance. And the talk I'm going to give today is for me myself. I sincerely beg for your blessings and mercy upon me so that whatever I speak, I could follow it myself. Thank you very much. With that, let's start with Jai Radha Madhav prayers. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Jaya Radha Madan Gopal Radha Madan Gopal Radha Jaya Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radha Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Krishna Jaya Krishna Jaya Shri Krishna Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Srila Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. So I welcome all of you. I know some of them from the Value Education Group has also joined this session. So I especially welcome all of you. And then we'll start with the prayers. I'm very good at cheating. So yesterday I found His Grace Giriraj Prabhuji has a very good slide on Mangalacharan prayers. So I just copied it without his permission, and then let me share my screen. I found this slide very good, and let's recite these prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Stute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so with that, start. So today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 7th chapter, and 55th verse. एतवान् एव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसः सवर्तः परस्मृतः एकान्तभक्तिर्गोविन्दे यत्सर्वत्र तद्ईक्षणम्. Word to word translation. Etan, this much. Etavan, this much. Eva, certainly. Lokesmin, in this material world. Pumsaha, of the living entity. Swa arthaha, the real self-interest. Paraha, transcendental. Smrita, regarded. Ekanta bhaktir, unalloyed devotional service. Govind, to Govinda. Yat, which. Sarvatra, everywhere. Tat ikshanam, seeing the relationship with Govinda Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere is the only goal of life. This much alone is the ultimate goal of life, as explained by all the revealed scriptures. In this verse, the word Sarvatra Tad Ikshanam describe the highest perfection of devotional service. in which one sees everything with reference to Govinda's activities. The highly elevated devotee never see anything unrelated to Govinda. Stavara jang jag ama dekhe na dekhe tara murti sarvatra haya nija ishta deva smriti. The Mahabhagavata, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. Even in this material world, a devotee does not see materially manifested things. Instead, he sees Govinda in everything. When he sees a tree or a human being or a devotee, sees them in relation to Govinda. Govindam Adi Purusham. Govinda is the original source of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita 5.1. The test of a perfect devotee is that he sees Govinda everywhere in this universe, even in every atomic particle. Andartasta paramanu chayantaram sthana. This is the perfect vision of a devotee. It is therefore said, Narayana mayam dhira pasyanti paramarithina jagadhana mayam lubdha kumaha kamini mayam. A devotee sees everyone and everything in relationship with Narayana, Narayana Mayam. Everything is an expansion of Narayana's energy, just as those who are greedy see everything as a source of money making. Those who are lusty see everything being conducive to sex. The most perfect devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, saw Narayana even within a stone column. This does not mean, however, that we must accept the words Daridra Narayana, which have been manufactured by some unscrupulous person. One who actually envisions Narayana everywhere makes no distinction between poor and rich. To single out Daridra Narayana or poor Narayana and reject the Dhani Narayana or rich Narayana is not the vision of a devotee. Rather, that is the imperfect vision of materialistic person. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of 7th canto, 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled What Prahlad Maharaj Learned in the Womb. Hare Krishna. So let's read the translation again. In this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere is the only goal of life. This much alone is the ultimate goal of human life, as explained in all revealed scriptures. Hare Krishna. Isn't it beautiful? So this is the conclusion of what Prahlad Maharaj is speaking, what he has learned in the womb of his mother from the great saint Narad Muni. He's telling that what is the ultimate goal of human life and what one should strive for. So if we see the life of Prahlad Maharaj, it is full of torture. How he went through so much of struggle by his father. We can't even imagine how his father was so much cruel that he wanted to kill his own son, and what Prahlad Maharaj might be going through. But he tolerated. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, in his recent class, which we went for a Mumbai Yatra, we attended there, he tells steady and tolerance. These are the prominent things that we can learn from Prahlad Maharaj. Those are the prominent teachings that Prahlad Maharaj is giving us. Be steady and be tolerant. May it be any situation in your life. With determination, continue your bhakti. Prahlad Maharaj was undergoing so much trouble, but even in those ups and downs, he didn't leave the shelter of Lord Narayan. He had that faith and determination, and he continued. He tolerated all the problems. So he is teaching us how to be steady and tolerant. Now, in this material world, there is miseries all around us. Now, please hear this carefully, what I'm going to say. Now, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj says, he has heard a statement in a class, in a lecture of Srila Prabhupada, in a recording. And on that line, he contemplated for many days. During COVID times, when Maharaj was in foreign, he contemplated on this particular line of Srila Prabhupada for many days. Now we can just think how much value this one line holds, because Maharaj himself contemplated on it for days. Now once we have understood the intensity of this line, now let's hear what Maharaj told. So Srila Prabhupada told in that class that in this material world, every moment there is going to be misery. So Maharaj says every moment. He didn't say every year, every month, every day, every second. Prabhupada told every moment. Now, if we take it to our heart, we will not be disturbed by what is happening around us. I tried it myself. So whenever a problem comes to you, especially some material problem come to you, if you know that in this material world, every moment there is going to be misery, and it is part of it, whatever you are experiencing is going to be part of it. So why to get disturbed? Just tolerate and move ahead. Even if you are going to solve this problem, there is going to be another problem which is going to come up. So please don't be disturbed. Okay. Now that gives you a relief, saying this material world is full of miseries. Every moment there is going to be misery. You don't have to worry about, oh, what am I going through? Why? No, that is going to happen. Devotees are not an exception for miseries in this material world. We all are going to go through it. Recently, I was with His Grace Balgoin Prabhuji. We went for a one-time session in a society. So over there, he was a Mataji asked a question and he was replying. The Mataji asked the question that why so much problems? Why here? why I'm going through so much, and the question was somewhere around miseries. And Prabhuji very nicely told, Mataji, problem is this place. He tapped the floor and he told, problem is this place. And I was just sitting very near to him in the front line, just facing him. I was sitting there and I was very carefully hearing what he's going to say. And as soon as he tapped the floor and told that problem is this place, something went into my mind. I thought maybe he's talking that the room is not correctly situated, or maybe this society is, there is wrong, there's something wrong with this society, or maybe the builder has some bad karma, that's why something is happening. So he's going to say something like that, and he's telling that this place is not correct, maybe you may have to move to somewhere else, or maybe he's advising them to come to NCC Urban. All that went through my mind. But then he told, this material world is full of miseries. You cannot expect anything else. It is full of miseries. It is going to be like that. The only hope is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So whatever you have, you engage in service of the Lord, do bhakti, and get rid of this material world. That's all. So I am in Madinagoda right now. I may think, oh, Akinchan Priya Prabhuji is very happy in Matru Srinagar. Maybe I should move to Matru Srinagar. Yes. Akinchan Priya Prabhuji over there thinks, oh, Matru Srinagar, there are so much miseries. Maybe I should move to Gachibowli. He may not be thinking, he is a great soul, but if I would have been in his place, I may think like that. Then someone in Gachibowli may think, okay, maybe I should go there in that community. Maybe there is no problem. My home jewels has become old. Let's go to my home Rekha. Prabhujis and Matajis, no matter where you go in this material world, what ticket you buy, material miseries are going to be there. And Srila Prabhupada's words are, every moment there is going to be misery. Every moment. And devotees are not an exception to that. We will go through tough times. We are going to go through tough times. And what should we be doing? We should be steady and tolerant. That's what is the teaching of Prahlad Maharaj to us. Now, that is a good reason why we should get out of this material world. Since every moment there is going to be misery, we don't want to stay in this miserable condition. And hence, His Grace Anand Vrindavan Prabhuji always tells like this, अगले बार किसी माँ के पेट में जन्म नहीं लेने का. We should not take birth again in this material world. We have to go back home, back to Godhead. What Srila Prabhupada told us. Follow his instructions, chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regulative principles. Sincerely do your seva. That's all. He's going to take us back home, back to Godhead. Now, my question to all of you, I don't want this to be one-sided. Every time I do one-sided, I keep on pouring, but this time I want to make it little interactive. So I want to ask you a question. How Srila Prabhupada told that we can go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime? Is there any scriptural proof based on which Srila Prabhupada told, or what is it? What is the basis behind which he told that? Anyone?
Yes, Parikshit Maharaj, within 7 days, went to Godhead.
Okay. But where is the reference that we all can also go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime? Parikshit Maharaj was really a much pure soul compared to us. But Srila Prabhupada has specifically given to those instructions to all of us. Anyone else would like to try?
Jamil went back to Godhead just by chanting Narayan.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Because Srila Prabhupada told, because he is a pure devotee, he said, means will go Prabhuji, definitely.
Right, yes. So this question was put forth by a disciple of Srila Prabhupada himself in the recent Srimad Bhagavatam class at NVCC Pune temple. And this devotee, who is a direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada, for many years he had this question in his mind. And suddenly, while he was reading Bhagavad Gita, Krishna revealed to him. Do you know what is his realization? You want to hear what is the realization of a disciple of Srila Prabhupada on the same question?
Yes.
The realization is Bhagavad Gita 9.31. Kaunteya pratijanati name bhakta pranashyati. And the translation goes like this. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Now, who is Krishna asking to declare? Son of Kunti, Arjuna, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. And His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, very beautifully he explains this concept of why Krishna is telling Arjuna to declare. He himself is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He himself can declare. But why he is asking Arjuna to declare? Anyone can answer it?
Because, a devotee, he wanted a devotee to declare because he cannot go back again. That is what Krishna's intention. So he has to, he will serve the devotee. He listens to devotee more than what he commits actually.
Right, exactly. So you mean to say Krishna can go back in his promise, but a devotee cannot, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, correct. So His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj gives the example of how for Bhishma Dev, Krishna broke his promise. Right? So in that way, Krishna may break the promise for his devotee because devotees bind him with love. And hence, now Krishna is telling Arjuna to declare it boldly that my devotee will never perish, you declare it. And once you declare it, it cannot be changed. There is no alteration to that because you are my pure devotee. In the same way, Krishna, through Srila Prabhupada, has told all of us, we all can go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. Isn't it a happy news? We understood how miserable this material world is, and Srila Prabhupada has so mercifully taken that responsibility on behalf of Krishna and boldly declared, you can go back home, back to Godhead, given that you follow him. And yesterday, somehow I was hearing His Holiness Navyogendra Swami Maharaj, and Maharaj was asked a question, what happens when a devotee or a disciple doesn't follow the instructions of a guru especially after taking Diksha or initiation? And Maharaj, very directly he told, Srila Prabhupada told that if a disciple after taking initiation doesn't follow the rules and regulations and the instructions of the spiritual master, the relationship between the guru and the disciple weakens and it can also break. So Prabhujis and Matajis, initiation is just the beginning, a long way to go ahead. So don't wait. There is no other way. Okay, there is no other way than Krishna consciousness in this material world to get out of this miserable situation. Please surrender to a guru and surrender sincerely and establish that relationship. Don't weaken that relationship by not following the instructions of a guru. Make that strict thick connection with the Guru, and by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we all can go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. And none of us will take birth in the womb of a mother and go through these miseries again by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Isn't it the amazing thing? Now, while we were discussing about tolerance and steadiness, Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, also gives an example of how we see Arjuna, he cried for Abhimanyu. When Abhimanyu died, Arjuna cried. Now, how is that he is steady? And Maharaj explains that it's natural for a father to cry for a son. It's not that tolerance means I'll become hard-hearted. I'll become a stone-hearted person. I'm not getting any emotions. No, that is not bhakti. Bhakti is taking care of everyone, but keeping Krishna in the center. So Maharaj tells, he cried, and that is natural for a father to cry when a son dies. But he was still steady. He didn't give up his character. He didn't went out of his way and said that, okay, Abhimanyu is killed, now I'm going to blast everything. No, he was still steady on what to do, what not to do. He was still surrendered to Krishna, even in that situation. So that is the transformation we all need to have. We are not saying, or Maharaj says that we don't want devotees to be hard-hearted. While we tell that to become tolerant, that doesn't mean you should be stone-hearted. You should have that compassion, you should have that love. But the transformation should be, Krishna should be in the center. Your character, your sadhana should not be compromised in any situation. That is what the tolerance means. Still, you have to go through what you are going through. So, His Grace Krishna Prabhu tells this. And these are, he tells that His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj has gave instructions to Grihastha. And the prominent instructions are 3 for the Grihastha. 1, to maintain relationship and a loving relationship with the family members. May it be wife, parents, children, relatives, everyone. To have loving relationship, especially for Grihasthas, okay? Now this is Maharaj's direct instruction, okay, for Grihasthas. We all need to hear it very carefully. Loving relationship. Second is money. We all have to earn money. We can use it in the service. We can use it for the care of the family members. So first one is relationship. Second one is money, Lakshmi. Third, sadhana. These are the 3 instructions. The strict sadhana, rising up early in the morning, 3:34, maybe 4:30 at max, and spending this time exclusively for Krishna till 8-9 o'clock in the morning. There can be some exceptions, some emergencies where you may have to work late night or early in the morning. Those are exceptions. But most of the time, you should give this time exclusively for Krishna. You should reserve it. That is how you are going to show your love and sincerity to Krishna. Hey Krishna, I love you. So if a boy loves a girl, he makes sure every time he thinks about him, whatever he sees, he gives the priority to the girl. If he goes to a shopping, he'll first find out, not for himself, but he will find what I can give to that girl. So the priority has been changed. So in the same way, when we say we love Krishna, we have surrendered to Krishna. That means we should show our sincerity. And we should make it a routine. Morning program should never be compromised. Recently, I went to Chennai, and fortunately, we got a chance to stay in ISKCON Chennai. His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj was there. And I learned from the devotees over there that Maharaj has never missed Mangalarti since 50 years, 50 years. He has never missed. Devotees see him daily coming to Mangalarti, and daily he gives Bhagavatam class. What an amazing devotee. What a determination. Prabhujis and Matajis, if we get little bit of disturbance, first thing we will keep aside is our bhakti or morning program. That is what will get disturbed. But how these devotees are so much determined. And Maharaj in the Bhagavatam class, when I was there, he was speaking about how bhakti will make the senses spiritual. He was talking about how this whole material world was created. That chapter he was speaking about. And he told this material world is also real. The spiritual world is also real. In this material world, we can spiritualize our senses by doing bhakti. That was his talk about. And I asked him a question. I asked him, Maharaj, we can spiritualize our senses by doing bhakti. But while doing bhakti, we also fall down. So why that complete transformation of our senses has not happened? And he's very apt. What I have seen from his lectures are, every day there is Bhagavatam class in ISKCON Chennai, and there will be Tamil translation of each and every line he speaks. Now, if you ask me to pause for a minute, I'll forget what flow I am going to speak. Despite I have my book, I have written my points, I'll forget what I'm going to speak. Maharaj will speak a line, he will pause, the other person will translate in Tamil, and then again Maharaj will speak another line, again the translator will. Every day this will happen. Prabhujis and Matajis, what a amazing quality he's having, the control of mind. And he answered. Now let's get back to the answer that it, and if you ask him a question, he will directly answer it to the point and khatam. That's what I have seen. So he answered me saying that patience is very important in bhakti. We all are Kalyuga Jiva. We have multiple layers of anartha on us from life after life. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, now we are into this path, and it is going to take some time. It's not just that you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and your senses are spiritualized. Now we are going to see Krishna everywhere. No, that is not going to happen immediately. It takes time. So you have to have that patience. Second thing he told is you should have determination. You should have the determination and faith in the process and go on slowly but steadily. This is going to happen one day. All our senses are going to spiritualize, and we can get anointed by the ointment of love for Godhead. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochane. That will happen to all of us, believe it or not, but that's going to happen. Okay, so why I told this? Because this world is a material world, which is a place of misery, and there is a chance for us to spiritualize. And that's what the essence of Srila Prabhupada's teachings are, to dovetail what you have, not to reject, not to be a renunciate, but to dovetail what you have. So you have some skill, dovetail in Krishna's service. You have some Lakshmi, dovetail in Krishna's service. You have a big home, dovetail in Krishna's service. You have a laptop, use it in Krishna's service. You have a microphone, use it in Krishna's. Whatever you have, use it for Krishna, and you spiritualize even the material things. That's what a devotee is, and that's what today's purport is talking. seeing Krishna everywhere. Right? So now we understood that material place is full of miseries. Only way is doing bhakti. We can spiritualize our senses, and by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and disciples and pure devotees association, we can go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. That is possible. Because Kaunteya Pratijanati Name Bhakta Pranashyati. So Srila Prabhupada has told, and Krishna will make sure that happens. If we, given that, if we follow his instruction strictly, or else the relationship will weaken and we don't have that sincerity or chastity towards our Guru. And it's no more valid. So another amazing thing that I heard, please don't void the warranty. So Srila Prabhupada has given a warranty card and it is written 16 rounds of chanting every day, 4 regulative principles, strictly do seva, okay, engage in Krishna's service. So he has given this warranty card to each one of us. Now we have that warranty card, but if still you are going to void the warranty, will you get a service? Suppose you have a laptop, you broke open the seal, you have opened the laptop. Are you going to get the warranty? No. In the same way, Srila Prabhupada has given us this warranty card. If we follow it strictly, Srila Prabhupada and Krishna will take us back home, back to Godhead. Given that, we don't void the warranty. So, Prabhujis and Matajis, please be very careful. Don't void the warranty card. Okay. Now, amazing, right? How devotees come up with such analogies, which we can very easily understand. Even a young child can understand this terminology of void, don't void the warranty, don't break open the seal. So that's what Srila Prabhupada has also given us. So we should not do that. Now, coming back to the material miseries, it is going to be there. And let's see how, yeah, it's an analogy from again Srila Prabhupada's disciple. So I'm just repeating it. Okay. So let's see our acharyas, the acharyas in our parampara, how they have tolerated. Okay. First, let's take an example of Srila Bhaktisiddhan Saraswati Thakur. He went to much trouble, Prabhujis and Matajis. I remember one incident when he was doing and he was sitting and chanting in his bhajan kutir. So we all know that for around 9 to 10 years, he was continuously chanting, fully immersed in chanting. And then he started his preaching movement. But while he was chanting, he was least care about anything else other than chanting. He was just completely focused on Krishna, chanting the Lord's holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He was continuously immersed. So sometimes he used to cook the food and the rice would get burnt because he was so much engrossed in chanting. And later on, someone used to realize, it's burning up. So let's go and off the stove or the wooden stove they have. So someone would come and help him. Once there was a hole on the roof. In the hut where he was sitting and chanting, there was a hole and the rain used to come down. The rainwater used to come down and Srila Bhaktisiddhan Saraswati Thakur didn't take out time to fix that roof. He used an umbrella, he sat down and he started chanting. Now, Prabhujis and Matajis, just think of all of us. We have a very good house, a very comfortable house, but what we are trying to do? We want AC. 1 ton, bas nahi hota hai. 2 ton. It's getting little hot, so maybe I have to do false ceiling. Okay, let's do false ceiling. All these walls, empty walls are not looking good. So let me get some woodwork done. Okay, let me do woodwork. Let's bring the carpenter. That carpenter fellow will come for 1 day. He will not come for 1 month. And you have to be in the anxiety. Prabhujis and Matajis, what our Acharyas have taught us. Don't waste any moment. And His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj tells this amazing point that any moment wasted cannot be brought back. No matter even you spend the money of the entire world, still you will not get back that one single moment. So please don't waste time. This is his instruction. So how much we should be very careful at every moment. On one side, we know every moment there is going to be misery, and we have to tolerate that, being in this material world, for the wrong deeds we have done, and we have to correct our consciousness. So why not correct it every moment? Every moment is a struggle for us. Just keep on fighting, keep on chanting. Every morning, whenever you wake up in the Brahma Muhurta, try to chant and try to hear. Yesterday, very nicely, His Grace Giriraj Prabhuji explained the Rukmini writing letter to Krishna and the Brahmana reading it. And Rukmini developed that love just by hearing. She never saw Krishna in person, but she just heard it. So we all are hearing so much Krishna Katha. Every morning we are chanting, but the transformation is very slow. Why? Because we are not hearing with concentration. So yesterday we also discussed this point of how Kayadu was not very much concentrated because she was worried of the child in the womb, and she was also in anxiety of her husband coming from the after doing his tapasya. He was supposed to come back, so she was in that anxiety also, and she couldn't make best use of the instructions of Narada Muni. But Prahlad Maharaj was one pointed attention, focus, hearing instructions of Narada Muni, and what a transformation. Prabhujis and Matajis, hearing is very important. Shravanam, the first of all the bhakti process is Shravanam, Shravanam Kirtanam, Shravanam. So whenever you chant, please try to hear. Whenever you chant, please try to hear. So this very moment, we are going to try this out. Just close your eyes, and as you chant, just try to hear your own words, and don't get your mind on anything else other than the sound vibration coming from your mouth. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You see, there is a change. There is a change in the way if we think through and focus on hearing versus if we just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This finger is outside, right? So I can swipe. This touch screen have made it very easy. So I can do very easy interactions. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I can also read the news and I can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Right? I heard some joke where they also drive while chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Two-wheeler, huh? Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
There is one instrument, Prabhu. They put on, not on beats. There is a counter or something like that, you know.
Okay.
They do driving like that.
Hare Krishna.
But somewhat okay, but Prabhupada
Yes.
and our Acharya has mentioned that we have to touch the beads and do rounds. That's
Yes.
Prabhupada.
It's good that Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, but we should not go against what our Acharyas have told us. So we should take out our chanting bag. We should sit at a place, try to sit. We all know we all have back pain, leg pain, knee pain, all the pains. It is also material misery acting on us. But still, we should struggle. We should say Krishna, Krishna, I'm trying my best. At the end of life, Prabhujis and Matajis, sincerely, we should feel that happiness. Yes, I have done sincerely my bhakti, my part, whatever best maximum I can do, I have done it for you, Krishna. Now please take care. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Done. But for that, you have to live like that. It's a whole struggle throughout your life of 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years. Now, next example of Srila Haridas Thakur, how he was beaten in so many 22 marketplaces, but still he was compassionate for those who were beating him. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself cried for Srila Haridas Thakur that how come you didn't allow that Sudarshana Chakra to act on them? They were beating you. What a compassion. They went to struggle. They went to miseries. Correct? It is a struggle. But they took it. And still they showed their sincerity. They showed their compassion to others. That's what a devotee is. Even Srila Prahlad Maharaj, despite of so much torture, was he cursing his father? No. He was praying to Lord, please forgive my father. Do good for him. Whatever is best, please do it. He was not cursing. And every moment, I acted like Hiranyakashipu myself in my home jewel satsang. And every moment, Hiranyakashipu was torturing Prahlad Maharaj, and Prahlad Maharaj used to preach Hiranyakashipu out of compassion, not out of arrogance. This is what His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj told in Mumbai recently in Narsimha Chaturdashi on the occasion. He told that Prahlad Maharaj was not arrogant. So we should not be arrogant while preaching. Instead, we should have that compassion. No matter if others torture us or say bad, okay, we can accept it. But still, we should compassionately teach them. Go on preaching. That's what Prahlad Maharaj has taught us. Now, another amazing point that I have noted. There is material miseries. We know what to do. We have to struggle. We have to continue our bhakti. We have to maintain our steady commitment to our Guru. Don't void the warranty. And next point we are going to learn is don't take tension. Now that you have understood every moment there is going to be misery, why to worry about it? And His Grace Krishnanand Prabhuji gives a very good analogy. Chitta versus Chinta. Can anyone tell what is Chitta? Chitta.
Fire.
The fire which burns the dead body. Correct? And he gives the analogy. Chinta is one which burns a person alive. So Chitta and Chinta both are there to burn us. While we are alive, Chinta is going to burn. While we are dead, Chitta is going to burn. So don't do Chinta. Are mera beta, are meri beti, are mera ghar, are mera ye, are mera paisa, are mera. All these are going to go. If you are too much attached to any of this, and if you are completely involved and not able to focus on Krishna, it is going to be really difficult at the time of death. How can you give up? So Prabhujis and Matajis, the example he gave is about Sridhar Swami. Sridhar Swami, when his wife passed away, the small child, and he was thinking, should I take care of this child or should I go out and preach and do bhakti? And then he was so much puzzled of what is this situation Krishna has put me in. I wanted to dedicate myself, but now this child who doesn't know how to eat, how to walk, how to earn his living, is just an infant baby. Who is going to take care of him? And immediately a lizard, a baby lizard comes on the wall, and there is no mother lizard. The mother lizard ran away. There is only this baby lizard who cannot even climb or do anything. And suddenly insect comes in front of it. And the baby lizard says, Mahaprasade Govinde. Right? So in that way, Sridhar Swami learned Krishna is taking care of everyone. He is taking care of an insect, of Indra, of Brahma, of the elephant, of the dog, of we, of our child, of our wife, mother, father, everyone. Krishna is taking care. Prabhujis and Matajis, please hear this. We are not taking care. We are just an instrument, or we are just phase off. We are just show off. But actual thing is done by Krishna only. So please don't worry. Don't take chinta. Don't take too much chinta that you disturb your chanting. Because the person who is taking care, see that person behind me who is playing his flute, he is going to take care of everything. It's not you, it's he. So you don't have to do any chinta. Do what is told to you by your guru. Now, he makes a statement, His Grace Krishnan Prabhuji. He says, Seva karo, chinta mat karo. Everyone please repeat. Seva karo, chinta mat karo.
Seva karo, chinta mat karo.
So next time when you have a material anxiety, please try to repeat this slogan. Seva karo, chinta mat karo, and engage yourself in seva.
Definitely, Prabhu.
Yes.
Thank you.
So now let's go ahead. Now next point. Now we have understood that material place is full of miseries. Every moment there is misery. We have to do bhakti. But is there any qualification for doing bhakti? Giriraj Prabhuji, is there any qualification to do bhakti?
Qualification is there is no qualification in terms of what?
Can anyone take up bhakti, or is there any particular?
Anyone. There is no caste, creed, woman, man,
Correct.
gender equality, no LGBT, everything.
Right. Yes.
Everyone.
Correct. So your representative of Srila Prabhupada, His Grace Giriraj Prabhuji, he is telling us that there is no qualification. Now, examples. Let's see the examples. Maharaj Pratap Rudra, he was a king, right? He was a king. Still, he did bhakti. He had that devotional love for Krishna, right? On the other hand, we have Kolavechar Sridhar. This is the example given by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He says, a person can be as rich as Maharaj Pratap Rudra. Obviously, we cannot be in this age of Kali Yuga. We have very little money. Although we are puffed up with that little amount of money, but still, even Maharaj Pratap Rudra can do bhakti, and Kolavechar Sridhar, who didn't had anything, whenever his dhoti used to get torn, he used to just put a knot. He didn't have money to stitch, just put a knot and use it. It was full of knots. And what was his business? Selling banana leaf. That too for some paisas, which is so easily available everywhere in that area. Anyone can go and just get it, but still he was trying to sell it, get little money. With that, he used to serve. With that Lakshmi also, he used to serve. My dear Prabhujis and Matajis, obviously we all are earning more than what Kolavechar Sridhar was earning. Compared to him, we are earning a lot more. Please think how much we are contributing. He used to contribute even in that situation. So that is the steadiness. That is the commitment of a devotee. So we should do it. We should not give up. Wherever there is a need, we should go ahead and do it. Me and His Grace Akinchan Priya Prabhuji were discussing this. Whenever the point come for ourselves, for our own self, we very easily spend. But when it comes to a seva, there is some knot, there is some hurdle in our heart, in our mind, that, oh, maybe I may need this money for something, maybe I have to save this, maybe I have to close something, or maybe I can put this money there, I may get 15% interest, right? Or 22% interest. Prabhujis and Matajis, please understand, Kolavacha Sridhar, he's earning just little paisas, he doesn't have anything. And he is spending for the seva. He used to worship Mother Ganga with that money. So what are we doing? Just think. And Maharaj Pratap Rudra, both of them got bhakti, got the devotional love for the Lord, right? And both of them got mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now another comparison between the Brahmana and the Patnis, the wives of Brahmanas. The Brahmanas, maybe they might have done Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, and so many other classes. They might have heard all the Vedic scriptures. And on the other hand, the wives were so simple. They didn't go through any proper schooling or education, but still they had this love. So material qualification is not an eligibility for bhakti. Another example given is of Duryodhana and Vidura. Vidura was from a lower caste. Duryodhana was a Kshatriya higher caste. But still, Vidura was able to do bhakti. Correct? So, as His Grace Giriraj Prabhuji told us that there is no eligibility. Any caste, any creed, any financial status, no matter what you are, what you are doing, what house you are living. Are you living in a gated community, or are you living in a small apartment, or are you living in a land? You can still do your bhakti. Bhakti is how simple? Just take your bead bag, put it in your hand, take your beads and just start rotating and just speak Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And when you chant, you hear. Prabhujis and Matajis, is any material qualification needed for this? We all are fortunate. We all have good hands, good head, good ears, good mouth. I don't know how long it is going to stay. Then why to waste our time? Please engage in service. Chanting is also service. So one another amazing example that I remember. Recently, Sutta Kirti Prabhu, who is a disciple of Prabhupada, who is a personal servant, gave 3 days class on pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, now we are talking about seva. We talked about material miseries and many other things. Then now, after we understood that the only way is not to void the warranty of Srila Prabhupada's commitment for going back home, back to Godhead. Now for that, we have to follow the instructions, and the instructions are 4 regulative principles, 16 rounds of chanting, and engaging in service. Now how to do seva, that's what we are learning. Now, Sutta Kirti Prabhu, he gives an example of himself. He was a personal servant of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada had this small bell. If you have seen in the government office, my father was working in railways, so I have seen it. In the table, they used to keep this bell, the steel bell, which when you tap, it makes tin 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 sound. Okay. Now, Prabhupada used to have that bell to call the assistant. Now, Sutta Kirti Prabhu was his assistant, personal servant, and he used to be in the other room, just besides Prabhupada. And whenever Prabhupada used to ring, he used to immediately appear there. And he told that Srila Prabhupada used to ring it, tang tang, and the bell is just a bell. It's not a wireless connected machine which will ring in his room. He has to continuously see if the bell is ringing. And if he doesn't, if Prabhuji, Sutta Kirti Prabhu, doesn't come within a time, Srila Prabhupada used to tell, how long I am pressing this? Srila Prabhupada used to tell like this. Again, mercy of Srila Prabhupada, that he chastises devotees and they got the mercy. They are in so much ecstasy. by hearing Prabhupada scolding. So now in that situation, Sutakirti Prabhu used to continuously keep his ears open and hear when Srila Prabhupada will ring the bell, and he is completely in that anxiety. As soon as he ring, I have to appear there. That's what is going in his mind, and he don't chant. Okay, now once Srila Prabhupada calls him, tan tan, he appears immediately, and Prabhupada asks, why are you not chanting? Sutikiti Prabhu is completely surprised how Prabhupada knows. But yes, he has to speak the truth. He's very sincere. So he tells, now what reason someone would give? Sutta Kirti Prabhu gives a very simple reason. He says that just because I'm in that room, I'm not chanting. Waiting in that room, I'm not chanting. Now, if someone, Prabhujis and Matajis, comes to you and you are a mentor or a Shiksha Guru, and you have asked him to chant daily, and he's not chanting, he comes to you and he tells, I'm just waiting in another room, hence I'm not chanting. What will be your reaction? Any one of you would like to tell? What will be your reaction for such an answer? He's very junior. And you have a complete right to scold him. In that situation, what you would tell? Despite her hearing all this, Arey Baba, abhi bhi nahi samjha tu? And what reason you are giving? You are just on the other room, sitting, doing nothing, and you are not able to chant. At least I would have scolded left and right. That is my anartha. Anyone else who would think creatively?
You will say that why do you waste time sitting idle? Better chant.
Right, yes. Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada is transcendental. Do you know how simple-hearted he was and what compassion he had? He used to really have that father feeling towards all his disciples. Sutakriti Prabhu said this, and Srila Prabhupada accepted it. Is it? He accepted that, oh, because my child is waiting in the other room, so he's unable to chant. And there is some more conversation going on. And then he says, okay, now I'm going to change. Srila Prabhupada tells this. And he tells that, I give you a seva. Bring me another dictaphone. I'm going to recite Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that tape will be sent to you immediately after the recitation. And daily early morning, you have to transcript that translation. Transcript it, whatever I have spoken in the dictaphone. Now Sutakriti Prabhu is very much surprised. Wow, I got a seva. Now he is very excited. And next day, he gets a fresh new tape of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is freshly spoken just few hours ago by a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. And he is transcripting it. Now what happened is, since he is doing this seva, he needs to have that purity. So he started chanting. Now with chanting, he got the purity to do the seva. He's doing it more aptly, going hand in hand. And everything went very well. Prabhujis and Matajis, I had this question in my mind. Should we prioritize seva or should we prioritize chanting? Which is important? Both are very important. Correct? So both go hand in hand. Many a times I heard that if you do seva, your chanting will improve. If you do chanting, your seva will improve. But somehow I was not able to understand how is this relationship. Arey Baba, when I have to improve my chanting, I have to sit and chant, na? How I can go out and bring some mic and do that seva, and my seva will help in my chanting? I was really unable to get this. But when Prabhuji gave this example, I was completely convinced. The instructions are correct, but I was a fool not able to understand it. And Prabhuji very nicely put it by his own example. Right? So we all should take up service. Jagannath Rath Yatra is coming very soon. So we all have services. A lot of services are needed. So please be ready. Please be ready. Spend yourself, your time, your money, your energy. Use it in Krishna's service. Here is the opportunity. Acharyas, our Guru, this whole satsang is an opportunity for giving us the seva. And how we should do the seva? With full heart. The best of our ability, we should do the seva. Another example, same, Sutakriti Prabhuji gives the example. This is the situation when Srila Prabhupada had disciples all over the world. And he was traveling throughout the world. Okay. Now it is his second or third trip while he was going all around the places. And one day suddenly he tells that, okay, now we all will go to Vrindavan. And Prabhuji is just personal servant. He gets first-hand instructions. He is almost sitting on a golden chair because everyone is very eager to serve Srila Prabhupada, want to have his personal interactions and association. And Sudhakirti Prabhuji is the personal servant who got this opportunity. Okay, now he is very much excited. And Srila Prabhupada had a plan. Srila Prabhupada was really expert. When he said, we will go to Vrindavan, immediately he told, I'll be giving classes on Nectar of Devotion. There is a huge series. Even I heard all the series. Every day morning I used to play one and I completed that series. I never knew the story behind it. But this is what the story Sudhakirti Prabhuji told. And I was so happy to hear that because I was hearing their classes and something very related to that, as if I was there. So, okay. So Sudhakirti Prabhuji gets to know that we are going to Vrindavan, and Prabhupada is so expert that he also knows what we are going to do there. We are going to have NOD classes in Radha Damodar temple. Now when Srila Prabhupada along with all his foreign disciples came there, just like angels, pure white, in having their shikha, right? All the foreign disciples, everyone was so much astonished by seeing Prabhupada. What a glorious Acharya, brought so many foreigners into bhakti, into pure devotional service. Such a great Acharya. And everyone was having a very high respect for Srila Prabhupada because he has shown to entire world what he has done. He has transformed the hippies into happies. The most sense gratifying places, the people over there were converted into devotees. That's what he has done. It's a great miracle, right? And then Sudhakirti Prabhuji, he tells himself that he is a humble soul, but just for teaching all of us, he tells that he was little proud. Oh, such a great Acharya, and I am the personal servant of Srila Prabhupada. And now Srila Prabhupada is sitting and giving the class in Radha Damodar temple. So in Radha Damodar temple, they gave a place for Srila Prabhupada and disciples to sit and talk. So Srila Prabhupada sat on a higher place and all the disciples were sitting. And Sudhakirti Prabhuji, being the personal servant, he took the chamar and stood beside Prabhupada and was doing like this. And in his mind, he thinks that, oh, see, such a great Acharya. Everyone is looking at Srila Prabhupada. And there are so many aspiring souls, but I am the only one who has got this chance to chamar. He does it like this. And Srila, there are so many flies. Flies are very common in places in India, right? Especially where you have mud and you have water, flies are very common. So could be Radha Damodar temple, there were many flies, and flies were coming and sitting on Srila Prabhupada's face. He was doing like this, and then again flies were coming. Flies were nearby. So flies were coming and Sudhakirti Prabhuji, being very near to Srila Prabhupada, he was seeing the flies. He was seeing the fly sitting here and Prabhupada doing like this, but still reading and explaining what he wanted to tell. But Sudhakirti Prabhuji continued. And Srila Prabhupada stopped. That's the only time Srila Prabhupada stopped in the middle. Okay, he tells, and then he stopped and he tells, Is there anyone more intelligent than this person? Can we get him here? Complete smash of the ego. A guru knows what surgery to do. Like an expert doctor knows what treatment to do in order to cure the patient, the guru knows what to do to cure the disease. So Prabhujis and Matajis, if you engage in seva and if you go through some purification process, please understand you are very fortunate that you are going to get purified by this. And Sutakirti Prabhuji gave his own example. I would never have told this to anyone, right? What's going in my mind and what someone might have done to me, because I have so much of false ego. Sutakirti Prabhuji is so pure that he is telling that just to show us by his own example. And there is a strong devotee in that audience. He comes, he pulls the chamber out like a sword, and he does the chamber like this, and all the flies, no more flies. And Srila Prabhupada says like this. And what happens to Sutakirti Prabhuji? Just taking a humble position. He just sat down, and he tells he sat down just like the mud in Vrindavan, just like the dust in the Vrindavan. He just sat down at a corner, and then he was just, oh God, what happened? Srila Prabhupada did this to me. He humbled me. He exactly knew what is going in my mind, and he did it. And usually personal servant used to walk immediately after the guru goes, right? Just besides, and whatever he needs, immediately the personal servant used to do. We see so many great devotees who have personal servants. We see how they are so close to them. But this time, Sutakirti Prabhuji, as Srila Prabhupada walks from that place outside, Sutakirti Prabhuji is behind the entire crowd. And everyone says, oh, you are so fortunate that you got the chastisement from Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhuji says, that's okay. Yeah, okay. But inside he knew what has happened to him. He got his ego crushed and he got purified. So what is the teaching for all of us? Don't do seva just for the sake of doing seva. Naam ke vaste mat karo. Do it from heart. See what is needed. Put your all effort. Okay, do it from your heart. And with that, we'd like to conclude. There is one more story that I can tell, but it's already 8:37. Should I tell or should we stop?
Very well. Tell.
Okay, one more story. This story,
Sunday.
I know many of them might have services, so quickly. So this is a story by Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, and he tells that there was a person named Durbhaga. He was not named but he is called Durbhaga. Why he is called Durbhaga? Because he's most fallen. He's completely no bhagya in him. Now he was a worshipper of Shiva. He used to worship. And Mother Parvati once asked Shiva, hey, why don't you give something to this fellow? This fellow is so much struggling. He's very poor. He doesn't have anything to eat and he's so much struggling. But he's your worshipper. Why don't you do something to him? Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj tells in this very beautiful accent. Why don't you do something to him? And Shiva, Lord Shiva tells Parvati, Arey Baba, he's such a Durbhaga. Even if I do, he will not take. Mother Parvati says, no, you please do it this time. He will completely accept it. No problem, you try it. Just because Mother Parvati is telling, Lord Shiva says, okay, I'll do it. And this time, while he was walking on the street, a big bag of pearls, gems, and money was kept. Lord Shiva, he himself kept that bag in front of him in the lane on which he is going to pass by. Now, Mother Parvati and Shiva is watching, and Lord Shiva is telling, hey, look, I did it. I did my part. Now it's up to him. But right when he enters that lane, he thinks that, okay, let me think how a blind person will feel, how a blind person may feel when he doesn't have eyes. I want to try to experience it. So in this lane, let me try walking like a blind man. Let me try it. And he closes his eyes. He just walks and he crosses over the lane. And Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva laughs. See this Durbhaga? Despite I giving him, he's not able to accept it. Prabhujis and Matajis, don't be Durbhaga. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself and has come and given us this holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Not a very difficult process. Srila Prabhupada, by his mercy, we all have got this chance. Please don't be Durbhaga. Okay? Don't be Durbhaga and neglect, ignore this golden opportunity. Just use it. Don't void the warranty. Go back home, back to Godhead. Okay. With that, I would like to end with a special class. Now the actual class is going to begin. How many of you are ready? How many of you are ready
Hare
to
Krishna
hear?
Prabhuji, we are ready for any number of classes from you.
Haribol.
Yeah.
So it's not from me, it's from Srila Prabhupada, and the class is going to begin now. Okay, I just trying to see how I should be share my audio video settings. Okay, let me share my desktop first, and then I have share sound. Okay, now let me give you the context. This is the second time when Srila Prabhupada is going all around the world, okay, visiting all the different places and seeing huge number of devotees dancing, chanting, glorifying him. And Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, having deities, big temples, everything is going on. And this is the situation in which Srila Prabhupada is traveling all around the centers. And Srila Prabhupada is in Atlanta right now. He is going into the temple, and this is the shortest and the sweetest lecture Srila Prabhupada has given in his entire life. Are you all eager to hear? This is just 1-2 minutes audio clip. This is a lecture, the shortest lecture in the entire world given by Srila Prabhupada himself. Now, how important it is, what instruction he is going to give. Just in 1-2 minutes, he is going to end his class. That means how important this is going to be. Everyone is eager to hear? Haribol.
Yes,
Prabhu, we are very eager.
Yes. So let's hear what Srila Prabhupada is going to tell. We all are there in front of him. With that, let's hear this. And please tell me if you are not able to hear the voice, okay?
The following is...
Are you all able to hear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Now, let's hear with focus.
An arrival address given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on February 28, 1975, in Atlanta, Georgia.
So, I am very glad to see you, and I am coming first of all Mexico City.
Yes.
So Mexico City, then Caracas, then Miami. I see your temple is the best. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very kind. Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana. Two lords, Nitai Gaura Chanda, Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are very kind. They have appeared just to reclaim the fallen souls of this age. So, they are more kind than Krishna. Krishna, he is also very kind. He comes to deliver, but Krishna demands the first of all surrender. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not demand surrender. He is so kind. So, take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and be happy. Thank you.
Haribol. Everyone were able to hear it clearly, what Srila Prabhupada told?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Srila Prabhupada's voice choked. He was almost crying, seeing the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And we all have that mercy. This is the shortest lecture he has given in his entire life. And the essence is, this is the golden chance Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. He is more merciful than Radha and Krishna. Correct. So let's make best use of it. Let's not get deviated from our paths of bhakti. With that, I'd like to end. Any comments, reflections, corrections? Please forgive me if anything I have told wrong or anything that would have hurt you. It could be my mistake. I have tried repeating from His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, His Grace Krishnand Prabhuji, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj, and His Holiness Srila Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, His Grace Anand Vrindavan Prabhuji. Okay, so it's all by their mercy that whatever I have learned, I tried to repeat it. If you find any fault, please forgive me. It's because I am not able to repeat it properly. And please pray for me that whatever I have spoke, I can implement in my life and perfect my life. I sincerely beg that I should get that taste for chanting and sincerely serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. 3 loud Hari Bols to Mahalingam Iyer Prabhu. Prabhuji, it would hurt if people don't listen to this lecture. Not the other way around, I would say. Excellent lecture, Prabhuji, and a lot of heart-touching things that I heard today. And the final touch is like more heart-touching. And for people like me, I don't know, no matter how many lectures I listen, it's very difficult to change people, but still, I think you're trying. And definitely, Prabhu, you have the mercy of Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no doubt about it. Very, very blessed, Prabhu. You're a blessed soul. Hare Krishna.
It's just by your association, Prabhuji. Thank you for blessing.
Prabhuji, this is the best lecture I have heard from you. Really, today it's so nice.
So you have heard from that great souls that I have named them. It's not my class, it's their class.
We are very fortunate to hear from so many acharyas, because usually I don't listen to so many acharyas, and Krishna has shown mercy through you.
Please pray for me, Mataji, that I'm just like your son. Please pray that
we are already in the path. You have to pray for us.
I am a fallen soul with so much anarthas.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, what a lecture, Prabhuji. Very lot of examples, lot of stories, and very nice, Prabhuji. And I just want to tell the others in the call that he is actually following everything that he said today. The reason is, until 1 minute before he started the lecture, actually he was on the call with on the message on the group where we are deciding to send the very first poster today. From today we are starting our digital campaign for Rath Yatra that is going to happen July 1st, and Mahalingam Iyer Prabhuji is spearheading with a lot of ownership and accountability, and actually he's doing the job also. His head and his two hands, both of them are at service. Until 1 minute before he joined the lecture call, he was actually modifying and listening to all the feedback that is coming late, last minute, changing it and sending it. Is this poster all right? Is this poster all right? And then he jumped into this call. So Prabhuji, you are really following and preaching by example, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Mataji, you are that great leader behind the success of Jagannath Rath Yatra that we are going to see. So
no, Prabhuji, no.
Please pray that I should get the mercy of Lord Jagannath.
You are a very blessed devotee, Prabhuji.
Thank you for your blessings, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Mighty favorite Mahalingam Iyer Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. It was, amazingly you prepared for the lecture. That is something that I have to learn. That when we have to go and give lecture, we cannot just go and speak whatever our 200 grams gray matter in the skull thinks. Right? You have done such a nice homework, and I am inspired to do it myself. And everything that you spoke from heart. Preaching is a heart-to-heart conversation, always. Right? Heart to heart. That is preaching. Gaur Govind Maharaj says that only a person who has a heart can preach. And only a person who has a heart can absorb it. Right? So the amazing blessing you have is you are a person who speaks from heart. And you're going to touch many lives. You already touched all of us here in the satsang. I'll eagerly await for the next round robin opportunity that you get again when I can hear from you. At your age, the conviction with which you're speaking, the determination that you're showing, I've not seen many, and I personally am not like that. So I'm very inspired. May Srila Prabhupada bless you more and more and give you some very challenging and inspiring opportunities to serve him in his mission. Youth like you, youngsters like you, was Prabhupada's dream. Prabhupada's dream. Today, Prabhupada is seeing this, he would be, of course, he's seeing it, and he would be so happy that, wow, my grandchildren are exactly like I wanted them to be. So I'm not just praising for the reason of praising Prabhu. You have such a nice skill of speaking from heart and the way you engage everybody. And, you should do more and more services, more and more preaching, and of course, balance your material and spiritual life also. But you are blessed, Prabhu, and we are blessed to have you. If everybody thinks we are blessed to have Mahalingam Iyer Prabhu, say loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
I hope I don't become like the earlier Sudha Kirti Prabhuji.
No.
Being very proud of it. So
I feel that suddenly if you see Lilananda is running away from Bhakti, you're going to come and save me.
That's not going to happen anytime.
No. I'm feeling very secured, I'm really feeling secured having devotees like you who will come and catch hold of me and bring me back to Bhakti, if I'm running away. So I'm very happy.
So Prabhuji, we all are holding your feet so tightly and with so much weight of our anarthas that you cannot run. Okay.
No, I already am overweight, so don't do that. Yesterday my Siksha Gurus came. It was such a wonderful evening. We kept on. I'm sorry. You can stop recording if anybody's recording.
Prabhu, yes, Prabhu. 1 second.
Sorry. I just thought I'll